So the story of Lemek from Papua New Guinea is a very interesting one and goes to the narrative of how this work that Interplast or charities like Interplast do, it's not a airdrop in, operate and leave scenario. Whilst there is a component of that, it's a long-term relationship. It takes years sometimes before an operation happens, before you get to this point. This point is where Lemek, for the first time, is able to raise both of his arms. He had received severe burns as a child, and Yari is with his brother, and to say they were happy when I photographed them doing this is an understatement. Lemek had been scouted a couple of years before this operation in Telefomen in northern Papua New Guinea. We met him in a place called Vanimo, which is on the West Papua border, and he had severe burns over his arms, neck, hands. He didn't really have any more. And a lot of the time, what happens with such severe burns is that over time, the scar tissue becomes like leather, and then it contracts and contracts and contracts. So eventually they're left with either a stump or something that looks nothing like the anatomy that it's meant to be. And it means their quality of life is abysmal. They make do and they find ways around it, but often when people don't get the care that they need early on, and all too often these are children that are burnt, that it becomes a lifelong sentence. Lemek underwent multiple surgeries on that trip, freeing up his neck, freeing up his arm, getting a haircut, which I don't think was planned, but he got one nonetheless. And when you see the positivity, the nervousness, but the positivity of hope that this sort of surgery gives these people, it blows my mind that it doesn't make the news every day, or that it's not more funded by either the Australian government or other governmental bodies, because it's like freeing someone from a life sentence. They give back to their families more immediately. They alleviate the dependency that they have on people around them to care for them. But then over time, they give back to their community. And there is an economical equation to being burned. And whilst I don't factor people in as economic numbers, you can't ignore the impact that it has on a wider community when they don't have access to healthcare or medical professionals that can provide that care or training. So behind an image like this is a really long story. And that he took a photograph of me made me feel very special, and that I was part of his story.
Okay, my name is Jebron Demut. And his name is Lemek Jeb. And we're from Telefomin, and sub-district is Uksapna. His injury was started, he was small boy, and his father and mother left at home, and when he inside the house, and fire burned him. Yeah. And then when he was small boy, yes, and then no one helped him. He was there, and then he's become a...
When you're better, what do you want to do? You want to go work? You want to go school?
I want to go school.
Go school. And what subject do you like? Mathematics, science?
Science, English, mathematics.
Live from Fiji.